Hey folks, Anthony here from livingtheend.com. And I did finish the other video, the part 2 of who you really are. But I'm actually going to get into some stuff that people really want to know. And that is the SP stuff. There is a big, I don't even know where to start with all the misinformation that's going on about SPs and stuff. So let's just start at one place and then we'll do more videos, because you can make 1,000 videos on SPs. There's just that much misinformation that's out there, and some of that misinformation is from really good people, really solid teachers and stuff. But there's some that just has these. My hair's going all over the place. They have these notions, from whatever books that they've read and whatnot that are unfounded. So anyway, so we're going to tackle that stuff, so that we know what's really going on. I love it when these people don't use turn signals on their $90,000 cars. Cracks me up. So anyway, first of all, know that you are God. You are source, you are infinite intelligence, whatever word you want to give for that energy that is all intelligent, that has created everything, that's what you are. All right? I went over that in the last video, so go back to that video and check it out. But realize that you are that infinite intelligence, that infinite power, God, source of all. So with that, there is nothing that is impossible to God. Let's just use that word. That's what I use most of the time. I use source and I use God. Every once in a while I use infinite intelligence. But let's just use God, okay? And with God, everybody assumes that even if you're not a religious person, that nothing is impossible to God. Okay? And so if God lives in you and is working through you, that means that there is nothing that's impossible to you. Absolutely nothing. When we look at some scripture in the Bible, there's scripture in there, and I don't have the exact source with me, driving of course, that says, ask and you will receive. It doesn't say ask for this, and this, but not this. It just says ask and you shall receive. That means that nothing is left out. If you can think of it, it's already done. Creation is finished. It's already done. By the way, you're not creating anything. Creation is already finished. All you're doing is choosing a state in which to live, in which to embody, and that state that you are going to embody has the things that you want in it. All right? The SP, the car, the house, the money, the job, the boat, whatever it is that you desire is within that state that you want to be. Now, here's the key to it all. Okay? Is you're the one who has to change. All right? It's you who has to change. You have to change, first of all, the perception of yourself. Whatever perception or concept you have of yourself, that is what you have to change. How you assume yourself to be the perception you have of yourself, the perception that you have of what you think the other people have of you must change. For those of you out there that are thinking that you're going to change your SP, that you're going to get them to conform over a period of time, are sadly mistaken. That's not going to happen. Because you're trying to change something in the 3D. All right? You're trying to change something in the middle. If you're trying to manipulate something, if you're trying to figure out the how, you're trying to mess with the middle, you're trying to change it in the 3D, or as Dr. Joe Dispenza says it, you're trying to change physical with physical, and you're not going to do it. You're not going to transform it. You're only going, you might see a small effect here and there, but as far as a permanent change, ain't going to happen. You can get your SP back for a week or two, and then you're going to fall right back into the same issues that you had before, and they're going to leave. Okay? So you're the one who has to change. You must change. Okay? You need to shift from one state to the next. All right? Now, as far as the SP is concerned, this is what I tell my clients. Okay, this is what I get them to do. Okay, because it's not about the SP. It's all about you. It's all about what you think that the SP is going to give to you. How you're going to feel with that SP. That's where it's all at. Okay, has nothing to do with the SP. It doesn't have anything to do with Paul. It doesn't have anything to do with George. It doesn't have anything to do with Sally. It doesn't have anything to do with Jane. It's got nothing to do with them. It's all about how you perceive you're going to feel, the joy that you're going to get from being with that person. Okay? And every single one of my clients that was dead set on getting that specific person that ended up with somebody else were shocked that the other person not only provided everything that they wanted out of the other person, but more. Okay? Now, does that mean that you can't get that specific person? Absolutely not. You can get that specific person. Okay? And regardless of what some really good coaches out there say, you're not going against the individual's will, because you're choosing a state in which the version of the person that you want is in, and that's the person you end up getting if you persist in it. If you don't persist in it, then you won't. I mean, that just goes for anything. So the key here is to understand that you're the one who has to change. Okay? It's not the SP that has to change. It's not the circumstances around the SP. It's none of that stuff. Circumstances don't matter. None of that stuff. The middle doesn't matter. I call it MDM. The middle doesn't matter. Stay out of the middle. Stop messing around in the middle. Stop trying to figure out how this is going to work. Stop trying to figure out if you should call them on their birthday. Stop trying to figure out if you should give them a Christmas present. Have they talked to you in the last 6 months? No. So if they didn't, don't send them a Christmas present. Another thing that I always tell all my clients is don't initiate anything with them. Every time you try to initiate something, you're trying to manipulate some type of positive outcome. That's what you're trying to do. And I'm going to tell you right now, rarely, if ever, does it work. It never works. And take it from somebody who's tried it. I've done that. I've done it all. I've tried to manipulate the middle. I've tried to take action. I've tried to do all sorts of stuff, And it always blew up in my face. It wasn't until I stopped taking action that everything started falling into place. It wasn't until I stopped falling all over myself, trying to figure out the how, and just let I am work through me, that everything started falling into place. That's how it happened. And that's how you have to make it happen for yourself. Okay? Get away from these people that are going to tell you that you can get your SP back in 24 hours, that, you know, you'll get your text message in 15 minutes and stuff. Stop that nonsense, folks. Stop bouncing from one fantastic thing to the next. That stuff just doesn't work. And if you do get a text message from them, half the time it's not what you expected. It's not what you wanted. And then the other half of the time, it's just a generic one that doesn't mean anything. I get so frustrated when I see those things, because I get these phone calls from people, or I get these email, or I get these messages from people that are saying, Anthony, I'm beside myself. You know, I had one girl that told me she was going to kill herself because she needed to have just that SP, and I had to talk her off the fence. That's not a fun thing to do. You know, because she was with a coach that was telling her, you know, day in and day out, she's spending $50 here and $50 there, you know, every other day and stuff, you know, with a 15-minute or half-hour session with this one coach and stuff. You know, say these affirmations. Anytime you hear somebody that says these affirmations are the affirmations that are going to change your life, no, they're not. It's not. The affirmation doesn't do anything for you. It's where you're coming from. It's who you believe that you are. And once you believe that you are that source, that nothing is impossible to you, that's when stuff starts to happen. That's when it happens. Because then you start taking the correct action upon yourself, within yourself, that actually starts making a difference. That's where it's at. Okay? So here's what I tell my clients to do. First of all, you need to know what it is you want. And it ain't Sally, it ain't John, it ain't Peter, it's not Farrah Fawcett, it's none of these. It's not the specific person. What do you expect to get out of it? What are the attributes that you're looking for? That's what's the key. It has nothing to do with the person itself. Okay? That's number one. Number two is, once you've decided what it is exactly that you want, okay? Now, and now take this all with the understanding that you understand who you really are. That you are source and there is no other. It's only you. Okay? So within your reality, you're the only source that's giving power to reality. Okay? All the people that are out there that you see, that you run into and stuff, and even people that you don't see and you don't run into, they're all taking cues from you. From your assumptions, your perceptions, and your conceptions of yourself and the world around you. As Neville Goddard says, and everybody gets this wrong, everybody says that Neville Goddard said that everyone is yourself, is you pushed out, and that's wrong. What he said was everyone and everything is yourself pushed out. Not you. You are an infinite being that nothing is impossible to. That's who you really are. Yourself is that self-concept, or that identity that you identify with as a physical human being here on this planet. That's what the self is. And that's what's pushed out. Now, how is that pushed out? It's pushed out by the power of I am. That saying in the Bible, and this is another one that most people don't get. There's a couple of people that do get it. There's a couple of people that really got a grasp on this, and my hat's off to these guys. They understand that the phrase "I am that I am," they understand what that phrase really is. Okay? They understand that the first I am is that infinite power, that infinite intelligence, that source, God. They understand that first I am is God. And then the second I am is the identity that you give yourself. Follow me now. That you give yourself on your daily basis. It's that state that you occupy most of the time. That is what that second I am is. So the phrase goes like this when you're using it for yourself. I am a mindset coach. I am a bodybuilder. I am a stock car racer. I am a truck driver. I am a nurse. I am this. Okay, so that's one identity that you have. Okay, I am in a committed relationship with X, Y, or Z. All right? That's the second I am. But you use I am that. You use that first I am, which is the power to create anything, to manifest anything, to bring anything into your reality. That's the power that pushes out through the filter of the second I am. All right? And then that's all pushed out onto that screen of space. And then all of that is reflected back to you. So everything that you see in your reality are assumptions, perceptions, and conceptions of yourself and the world around you. If you want to say that you created something, that's what you created. You created that reflection that's coming back to you. And the funny thing is that we want to argue with that reflection all day long and try and change it out there. Doesn't happen. First of all, there is no out there. There's not. Okay? If it's your reality, all the rest of us are just living in it. Matter of fact, I always tell my clients, hey, it's my world. You guys are just living in it. That's all. I say what goes in my world. It's my world. You guys are just living in it. I'm the puppet master in my world. I'm the director. I'm the writer. I'm the producer. And I'm the main actor in this whole reality that I call my reality. And so are you. And when you get to the point that you understand that, you get to the point to where you really hold on to that and you know it's you, then let me tell you, the magic is it's just getting ready to unfold for you. Okay, so first thing is, SP, know what you want. The second thing is create a scene off of what it is that you want. Okay? And we're going to go into why it's important to have a scene. And it's not just to do sats. It's not just to sit there and meditate on it for 5 and 6 hours a day. That's not what we're going to do. Okay? You can do that if you want. There's nothing wrong with it. Only it's time consuming. And it didn't have to be like that. The moment you make a decision about what you want, what your desire is, it's already done. There is no past and there is no future. There's only now. That's it. Tell me anybody that's gone back to the past. Show them to me. Show me how somebody went back to the past. Can't do it? Didn't think so. How about somebody that went to the future and then came back to the present? They couldn't do that either, right? The only way that you could theoretically go back to the past or theoretically go to the future is within your imagination in the 4D. That is the only way. And that's what Neville Goddard was talking about when he said, make then, now, and there, here. That's what he meant by that. So, first things first is you're going to decide what it is that you want out of that relationship, out of that person, okay? I tell my clients, don't give this person an identity, okay? God already knows what it is that you want, okay? The infinite intelligence knows what you want. All right? They've got the name. They've seen the book. So don't give them an identity. And let me tell you why you don't want to do that. Because you already have tremendous amount of resistance with that. So do yourself a favor and don't give them that information. Don't give yourself, more of that resistance. Second, create a scene that would imply that it's already done. Okay? Live in the end. That's the name of this. That's the name of this of my website. That's the name of what we all do. We live in the end. Regardless of whether you're doing it consciously or unconsciously, that's what you do. That's what's created your life. And then third, persist in the knowing that it's already done. Live in your imagination as if it's already done. Okay? What I did was, if I was in my car like I am now, my SP was sitting right next to me. If I was walking into the door of my house, I'd walk in and say, honey, I'm home. I would say it out loud. You have to get to the point to where you know it's already done. What would you do if you were already that person? And in your mind, be that person. And if it takes doing something out loud like I did, then by all means, do it. Okay? Now, what I wouldn't do is go tell all your friends and stuff, yeah, we're back together again, and so on and so forth, because at some point they're going to find out and it's not going to go well. So I don't suggest you do that. But in your mind, you need to be that person. Who would you be? How would you act? What would your day look like if you were in that relationship? And think from that premise. act as if in your mind that is already done. When I bought this car, I knew exactly what I wanted. I knew the model I wanted. I knew the spec that I wanted. I knew everything. Okay? And I don't buy, I'm one of those ones, I don't buy brand new cars, first of all, because there's nothing out there that I really like. Second of all, I'm not an idiot with my money. So I'm not going to go buy a brand new car and take that massive depreciation hit on it, within the first 2-3 years. I can't believe some of the cars that are out there that are going for $60,000 and $70,000, and then 3 years later they're worth $23,000. It cracks me up. So I knew what I wanted. I knew the year that I wanted. I knew the specs that I wanted and stuff. I knew the mileage that I wanted on that car. And I saw myself driving that car, looking down and seeing the center console, because in this car, the center console has a whole bunch of buttons. And I love buttons. And so I saw that, and I felt myself driving that car. And when I drove my other car, I could see myself driving this car. And not so much see myself, I was driving this car in my mind all the time. So, that's what you need to do. Now let me just real quick, we're at 27 minutes, we might as well go for a half an hour. Let me real quick just tell you how I got this car. So, and this goes for anything. Okay? It doesn't matter what it is that you're trying to manifest. This is how you do it. Okay? So, I had in my mind what I wanted. I found exactly what I wanted, down to the tires. The exact tires. I found the exact car that I wanted. And so I said, that's it. But I was out of town, and so I said, I'll call as soon as I get into town. It's not going anywhere. These cars are expensive. It's not going anywhere. I got back in town, and I got home, and I went and I looked, and I didn't see the car at the dealership. I didn't see it within their inventory. And I said, crap, they sold the car. And to say that I was bent out of shape is an understatement. I was really mad at myself because I was stupid for not at that point in time for not going and at least locking it down. So I went and started looking around for other ones and stuff, and I couldn't see, there was nothing that I wanted and stuff, and I was really bummed out. Then at night, it was about 12:30 at night, and I woke up and I was ticked off. And I said, you know what? That car is mine. That car belongs to me. That is my car. And I was mad. I was loud about it. I had to actually go out into the garage and say, that car is mine. It belongs to me. I was intense. I was pissed off. I was not a happy camper. Then about, I don't know, I think it's probably 15-20 minutes later, maybe a half an hour later, I decided, you know what, I'll go back on and I'll go see, if it's on or not. And I went on, and there it was. That car was on. It was on the within the inventory again. And so I sent an email directly to that dealership, not expecting them to answer or anything like that anytime soon. You know, I figured it was going to be in the morning, so I was going to be the first one to call in the morning, and I was going to be the first email that they saw. All right. Matter of fact, I think I sent 3 emails that night. About 20 minutes later, I'm getting ready to go back to bed, and I get this notification that I have an email. And I said, okay, well, let me check it out. Could be a client, you know, whatever and stuff. And so I saw what email address it was, and it wasn't from it wasn't from a regular email that I would have noticed and stuff, you know. So, but I saw in there the make of the car that I wanted. And it was the dealer who said, you must be the luckiest man on the planet, because I just put that thing up about 10 minutes before I saw your email back on the website. So he was putting that back on the website as I was ranting and raving in the garage. Okay? Or he was thinking about it, or the world moved in such a way, the universe moved in such a way that caused him to put that back on, because the deal had fallen through. And he was going to put it back on in the morning and stuff, but he figured, I'll just put it on there tonight. And so he did that at 12 o'clock at night. Put that notice back on there that the car was available. I emailed him again and I said, what time do you open? He emailed me right back. He says, we open it at 8:30. I was there at 7:45 in the morning. I said, I'll be there. I'll buy it. I'll be right. Just don't let anybody else have it. And I was going to make sure nobody else got it, because I was going to be the first one there. And I was. 2 hours later, I drove home with my car that I wanted, that I knew was mine. But see, that's just it. At that moment, that car was mine. I knew it was mine. It belonged to me, not to anybody else. It was mine. That's how you have to get with what you want. And yes, you can have any SP that you want. Thanks for listening, folks. And remember, you've got this.